Hot mic.
Hot mics.
That's a hot mic.
There's hot mics in the
Hot
studio.
Mic, that's hot. That's a hot baby.
That's a hot pod mic.
Damn.
Is that a hot pod kit?
I want to apologize in advance from last week when I forgot to turn on my mic. I'm not good at producing this show.
Yeah, that's actually true. That's actually very true, but we all like it anyways.
Who else is going to do it, though?
Nobody's going to fucking do it. Hey, we're fucking putting out an ad want here for any engineers who want to engineer the show. No pay, but you will
Zero pay.
You will get a free brew every time you come down.
9 a.m.
Yeah.
Because this guy's like, hey, we got to do this at 9 a.m. for some reason. I'm sick. I went to 4 concerts in a row this week. I'm ill.
Yeah, that looked like a lot of fun.
I'm ill. I'm very ill. And Chadley's like, yeah, we got to do this at 9. And then rolls up 55 minutes late. Made me wake up this early and then rolled up 55 minutes late.
You know what's even the best part, though, is that I contemplated just rolling up at your house at midnight last night and just being like, we're hot
until 1, so it wouldn't have, you would have just been sitting outside.
I would have waited.
I knew you would have.
I would have waited. Welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast. In big news, 2 big misses on the celebrity death pool this week.
Damn,
big
dude.
Misses. Burt Reynolds, of course, passed away.
Burt.
Yeah, that one's not a big surprise. I feel like someone should have got frail. That. Yeah,
he was frail.
Yeah, the crazy thing is he was 82 and he didn't die of old age. He died of a heart attack.
Hardcore, dude.
Yeah, once you get to 82, like you'd think you're safe.
That's like that Ice-T thing where, because Ice-T, he used to be a gangster rapper.
Oh, I'm aware.
And he did this interview and he's like, "No, play, I'm too old to die," right? Because when you're a rapper,
fuck yeah,
if you get past 30 without ODing on drugs or gang violence, you're too old to die. Rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Seen him live.
So the crazy thing about Mac Miller, of course, is that he was a 26-year-old rapper. So take a wild stab at how he died. Yeah, take a wild guess. He OD'd, of course. But the crazy thing about him is that he was sober. He went to rehab and he was sober. And then he started dating Ariana Grande, and everything just started fucking falling apart.
Is this Pete Davidson's fault? Is this SNL Pete Davidson's fault?
I think it might be. Hey, Pete, come on the show. Defend yourself, bitch.
Come on the show and defend yourself. The crazy thing is, if this was 2 years ago when he wasn't dating Ariana Grande, Pete Davidson would have come on our show.
Yeah, but for real though, very rest in peace to Mac Miller. I didn't much listen to his new stuff, but
he's not the greatest rapper of all time, but he's a great entertainer. I've seen him live, and he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he seems like he's pretty cool.
Fucked up.
Yeah. I had a couple of his albums back in the day. I thought he was pretty good.
Those first few are good, really good. Blue Slide Park and Kids.
Blue Slide Park is my favorite one for sure. But nothing. He didn't have anything like memorable or like
that
chartable.
Donald Trump song.
Oh yeah, the Donald Trump song. Okay, Donald Trump. Yeah, you're right.
Somebody dug up a tweet about Donald Trump talking about Mac Miller.
I like that every time somebody dies, like they're like, "Oh, let's dig up Trump's Twitter."
He's got one.
Yeah,
he said something about every person,
and it's always mean.
It's always super mean.
Oh man,
so what are we talking about today, Chadley?
Today we're talking about some movies.
Oh, they're coming to get me. I don't know if you can hear that though.
Gotta get again. Oh, you can definitely hear it. I bet you can definitely hear it. Those sirens are very loud. The police are gonna arrest me, as they should.
I don't hear it in the cans though.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't hear it in the cans either. Oh, either way, there was fucking police sirens outside just now. But we're gonna talk about some movies. We're gonna be talking about Tag. Jeremy Renner's Arms.
Oh boy.
Jeremy Renner's Arms and fucking fake Hannibal Buress and just greasy looking fucking Ed Helms and regular old John Hamm. And Shitty John Hamm will be coming to talk about that.
Shitty John Hamm making an appearance?
Shitty John Hamm might stop by.
It's been announced.
Yeah. Well, I can't say for sure because these shitty characters are unpredictable and they just bust through the
wild cards for sure.
Yeah. So he might show up, he might not. We'll have to wait and see. Although that's our podcast way of saying, yeah, he's going to show up. We're also talking about Tully. That's the new movie from director Jason Reitman and writer Diablo Cody. Of course, the exact same team that worked together on Juno.
Young Adult.
Yeah, and young adult. That's right. They're making another movie about pregnant people. So
hell yeah!
Apparently
hey,
it's all
Diablo Cody. He is still pregnant.
Stop talking about being
15 years
pregnant.
later, he is still pregnant.
Although I like that they got both ends of the spectrum. They're like, all right, we got 16-year-old who's pregnant and fucking 46-year-old that's pregnant.
That's the evolution of Diablo Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. In young adults, is there a 30-year-old that's pregnant in there somewhere?
She's not pregnant, but she is like an alcoholic or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Who is it that's in that? It's someone crazy.
Charlize Theron and
Is it?
Patton
Oh,
Oswalt.
yeah, you're right. It is Charlize Theron also in that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I haven't seen that movie since like it came out in, what was that, 2011, 2013 maybe?
2011 sounds right.
Yeah, it's been a while. But so that's that movie. We're going to be talking about our Stephen King pick of the week.
Yeah.
It's Carrie, baby. We're talking Carrie.
Yeah.
The original.
Oh, yeah.
I'm real juiced up to talk about that one. And then, of course, today's feature presentation is going to be Won't You Be My Neighbor, the Fred Rogers documentary, which is actually interesting. We'll get into that a little bit later. What do we want to start with today? Do we want to jump right into Tag?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about Tag. So I think this movie might have been made in 2015. You want to know why?
Okay.
You want to know why I think this movie was written in 2015? Because it's a comedy with no jokes.
Yeah.
Zero jokes.
Boy, this ain't funny, player.
So I'm gonna be very honest at the beginning of this review. I do not like this movie. I think that this movie. I like the story though.
Yeah,
because it's a true story, but obviously it's been greatly amended. It's based on a Wall Street Journal article. There's like 12 dudes in the original story.
Yeah,
but like you can't have 12 dudes.
You got to get it down to 5, and then you also got to not have Hannibal Buress do anything for some reason.
Yeah, nothing. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So let's actually talk about what this movie is about.
Well, let me know what the production company is on this bad boy.
Ooh, I didn't write. I wrote down the ones for Tully, but I didn't write down the ones for this one.
I think I might have it. Let me take.
I think it was Focus Features. I think we did Focus Features all around this week. What didn't we?
No, that was the other two.
Oh,
I don't know. I didn't write it down. It might have been.
This fucking guy didn't even write down the but I wrote down the director, which is Jeff Tomsic. And Jeff Tomsic is a TV director.
Well, that's very apparent.
Yeah, and it's very obvious. This is his first foray into feature films, and I think like everybody.
It's gonna be a New Line Cinema.
New Line Cinema. That is right. I do remember. I'm gonna tell you a fun fact. I accidentally watched this movie
distributed
twice.
by WB.
I accidentally watched this movie twice because I was like almost done the movie. I'm watching it, and my buddy Kyle rolls up, and he comes in. He's like, "What you watching?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's this movie Tag." And he's like, "Oh man, I really wanted to see this." And I'm like, I guess I got to start it over again. So not only did I watch it twice, but I watched it twice back to back, and it was.
Dude.
And you know what? I noticed shitty things the second time that I didn't notice the first time. So essentially, this movie has 5 main characters and doesn't know how to share the screen time at all. Over 100 minutes.
Yo, it's pretty long.
Yeah,
like we did all 90s this week, but this one
was 100.
Pretty long.
Yeah, this one's the longest movie we watched this week. But I mean, 100
Professor
minutes,
Runtime over here talking about 100 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's literally murdering him.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 100 minutes realistically isn't that long. Even for a comedy.
Twice, though.
Yeah, I did watch it twice. So this was actually 200 minutes for me. So
Old Professor Runtime.
Old Professor Runtime. Old movie release date boy over here.
Ooh, just riddled with the tism.
Just
trying to say movie release dates.
What did I say?
Nah, I don't
know. So here's the problem with this movie is that the concept is kind of fun. Like the concept of the grown adults.
It's like a movie's worth of fun.
Yeah, I don't think it is either because like there are jokes that can be written around the concept that these 5 grown adults are playing tag. But here's what happens instead.
Yeah.
Instead, there's just a variety of uninteresting chase scenes that happen over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The most entertaining part of the movie, unfortunately, is the first 5 minutes of the movie where they're introducing the concept and Ed Helms puts on the silly janitor costume.
It almost tricked me into being good at the beginning.
And then John Hamm throws the chair at the window.
There's going to be more of this stuff where they have to like try and get these daring escapes and whatnot.
Yeah, but instead it was just Jake Johnson. Hey, Jake, here's the funniest joke of the entire movie. Jake Johnson's character, even when he's sleeping, he's smoking weed. Crazy. He's smoking weed at the wedding, and he's smoking weed with his dad.
Smoky boy.
He's smoking weed. He blows weed smoke into John Hamm's face, and then fucking Ed Helms' mom tries to fuck him because he's weedy boy.
Yeah.
That's a joke. That's like they are legitimately trying to pass up. Here's the thing is that we have these 5 very funny men.
Yeah.
And nobody stopped and was like, hey,
Ed Helms and Jake and Hannibal Buress are funny.
I like John Hamm.
Jeremy Renner are not funny.
Jeremy Renner will get you. He's not funny or interesting or good at acting.
John Hamm has good comedic timing. He's not funny, though.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough. But like Ed Helms, Jake Johnson, and Hannibal Buress, those are funny guys.
Hannibal Buress, a legitimate touring comedian who says no jokes.
Yeah. Like, did nobody put up their hand and say, hey, are we just going to keep doing setups and no punchlines?
Is clearly there just to have a black person in this movie.
Yes,
and that's
absolutely.
like so fucking offensive.
Yeah. But it's so crazy because this movie is so much setup and no punchline. Like there's so many parts where they start to say a joke and then they just stop before they finish the thought. And I'm like, could we finish the joke before we move on to the next fucking stupid running segment? So essentially the plot is these 5 guys have been playing tag their entire life, but Jeremy Renner's never been tagged. But don't worry about that. He's getting married. What a perfect op, dude. That's a perfect op. That's a
SEAL Team 6 op. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Osama, sama.
Yeah, so that's a perfect opportunity to tag him. And then they go and they're trying to find him in their hometown of Spokane, Washington.
Oh, I love Spokane. Been there many times.
Yeah, I've been there a lot of times. I love Spokane.
Every time I go there, my dad buys somebody's mixtape off this weird, like, he looked kind of homeless, came up and he's like, hey man, you want to buy my mixtape? And my dad's like, all right.
Does he declare the mixtape when you guys come back into Canada?
No, he puts it in the CD player. and the homeless guy's like $10. He's like, give you 3. And he's like, all right.
Border guard is like, what's that hot tape you got in there?
Yeah,
Where'd you get that hot tape?
That was like a weird rap tape. And then he also picked up some sort of saxophone, like all sax.
I would buy that from a homeless person, though.
Yeah, that guy didn't look as homeless.
Hey,
still homeless.
Homeless person, recording studio time? Where'd you get that?
I saw a homeless guy. I was walking home from the concert last night.
Yep.
And I saw on pretty close to your house, I saw a homeless guy in a wheelchair pounding off.
yeah, that sounds about right for my neighborhood.
And then I kept walking, and there was this dude, and he was like about to take a piss, and he's like, "Don't look over here, I'm taking a piss." I'm like, "Don't worry, boss, I don't got a magnifying glass." I got a magnifying glass, and his buddies just started laughing.
They're like, "Oh shit, yeah, shit, yeah." Yesterday, I walked into a fucking stairwell in a parking garage, and there was just straight up like a homeless person taking the biggest piss I've ever seen at the top of the stairs. So I had to go around, obviously, because I couldn't walk up those stairs now. Dude, it's terrible. Not. Giant piss, dude.
Dude, the thick piss.
Okay, so this movie stars 5 people. Let's talk about them individually.
Yeah.
Ed Helms, funny.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, he's a funny guy. Doesn't make any jokes. There's a lot of pee jokes in this movie.
A lot of piss jokes.
Yeah, there's like, and you know, like I know I sound like a hypocrite because I just made a piss joke, but like it is like things like, I want to clean that man's pee off that man's toilet, and it's like, oh man. But even worse, oh man, you know what's the worst part of this movie is when Jeremy Renner jacks off on the teddy bear. God, it's terrible and hideously unfunny. Dude, watching that one time is terrible. Watching it twice is fucking scarring. Dude.
Yeah, and Kyle was laughing it up, hey?
Kyle did not yuck it up. I do not think he didn't say anything about the movie, but because we immediately watched Tully after, but I do not think he enjoyed it.
Okay, perfect. Damn, there's a lot of titties in Death Stalker. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but it's on right now.
Dude, is this? Oh shit! There's a lot of titties in this movie. But then, like, okay, so they go back to Spokane, Washington. They go and collect all their dudes. Hannibal Buress is there making jokes about dicks, but they're not real jokes, so don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. He barely says anything.
Don't worry about that. So they collect up all the boys, and every time they collect one of the boys, it's this fucking crazy chase scene, and it's really.
But it's the same chase scene.
It is the same chase scene. It's just them running to Beastie Boys.
Dude, then they introduce Ed Helms' wife.
Oh yeah, Isla Fisher.
Hey, I don't get this person.
I don't get the character because it sounds like
I don't get the actor, dude.
Isla Fisher.
Why is she famous? She can't control that fucking accent, dude.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Because it sounds like she's American, but she ain't.
Hey, you're so Australian. Even though you're trying.
That's what
so
I was thinking that throughout the movie too, and I was like, man. Like, is she supposed to be like some sort of New York or Boston, or is it just like she's trying to do LA, but something?
She's just trying to do regular voice, but she's going a little Australian there.
Yeah, I like Isla Fisher though. Like for the most part,
she's bad, dude.
You know what? There's something about her that I like, dude. These people are fucking in this Death Stalker movie. This is
Don't
crazy.
worry about what's going on.
This is crazy. This is infinitely more entertaining than Tag.
Dude, should we just flip over to a Death Stalker commentary real quick?
Yeah, we might have to do the point-by-point breakdown of this.
Yeah, we're going to do a point-by-point.
They're fucking, though.
Man, there's a lot of titties in this.
Is this on Prime? I'm going to watch this immediately.
Yeah, it's on Prime.
I'm going to watch this immediately when I get home. So, Ed Helms, okay, funny. John Hamm, really good comedic timing.
I love when he's in movies. Like, I truly do love when he is in movies.
Well, but like, I was thinking about it, and here's what the problem is it feels like everybody in this movie wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? They weren't really invested in this film, except for Ed Helms, who's like he's got nothing going on anymore.
It's tough.
It's really tough for him. He did his Hangover movies. He did The Office. Now he has no money.
He's probably got money.
But like, everybody else seems like they're like, we are doing other things right now, so this shitty, dumb movie doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. It definitely didn't matter for
any of them.
Most of the cast.
Yeah, because like Ed Helms is sort of played as the main character, which in an ensemble movie, don't do that.
Don't do that.
For sure, don't do that. It's an ensemble.
Let's do a big reveal. That's, you're
going to make a 100-minute movie. You're going to give 60 minutes of that screen time to Ed Helms and 3 of it to Hannibal Buress?
Yeah, that's
super
literally
crazy.
offensive.
Look, I know
every movie we watch with Hannibal, he's fucking wasted.
Like, and he's one of the main characters in this movie.
Yeah, like in the other movies, I get it because he's like he does the pop in.
Yeah. Yeah, what was that one we watched, The Blockers, where he just did the pop-in?
Yeah, I watched a fucking movie last night that he was in for like 4 seconds.
What was this movie?
It's called Flock of Dudes.
Flock of Dudes.
It stars Chris D'Elia as the main character. And it's like, hey,
Jesus.
You're not actor.
Yeah, I was gonna say not actor. Don't do that.
You're not actor. And then it's got like
Chris D'Elia of Little Evil fame.
Yeah, of Little Evil and the Congratulations podcast fame. But it has like all these, like it's got Mark Maron in it. It's got Jeff Ross jacking off in it.
None of these people are actors.
Hannibal Buress. It's almost all just LA podcasters.
Yeah.
It's got, it had somebody else. Oh, it had Brian Callen in it.
Oh, Jesus.
He played like this old, like fucking guy that wanted to fuck her. It was a really, really bad, but also it was a I Spy of people. And Hannibal Buress was in it for 3 seconds.
Thank you for wasting my boy's time.
My boy John Gabris was in it for 2 scenes and didn't say anything.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Hannibal Buress is on the poster and doesn't say anything for Tag.
Oh, that's true.
Here's the thing. He might have 10 lines in this movie.
He
might
have got paid for an extra.
Yeah, like
to be honest,
he's barely in this movie.
Yo, this movie's wild, by the way.
What, Death Stalker?
I can't stop looking.
Yeah, I know. It's very, very distracting, to be honest. But then, okay, so that's Hannibal Buress. That's John Hamm. That's Ed Helms. Who else we got? We got Jake Johnson. Okay, we already talked about that. He
literally doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything. Here's the thing: is that nobody contributes to the plot in this movie, and that's why I think it's weird. Except for one character, and that is the character Jeremy Renner plays, and his name is Jerry. But don't worry, because if you're worried about his fucking CG arms looking weird, they look They look way less weird than his fucking Botox, so don't worry about that.
Man, they do a good job of just like hiding his arms at all points.
Yeah,
we're
we're
like standing behind somebody.
Yeah.
Or when he was signing that thing, it was a stunt hand.
Dude, every time he's like standing by his wife, he's like this, like
Yeah.
he's like, just like he's tucking his shoulder behind her shoulder, and it's like, why are you standing like
There's
that?
only like 2 or 3 scenes where you actually see the CGI arms, and you barely notice.
Yeah, like, to be honest, I was shocked that I didn't notice it more.
Because this was their like main marketing gimmick. They're like, Jeremy Renner has CGI arms. Come look at the CGI arms, bitch. It's like, all right, let me see the CGI arms. They're gonna take center stage. No,
Yeah.
you barely see them.
Yeah, don't worry. You see the CGI arms when he's running in the forest. That
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
he's running in the forest.
They show it a lot when he's in like the slow-mo Matrix mode, but when they're in that mode, it already looks all CGI, so you can't really tell.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I kind of didn't hate that stuff.
Where Jeremy Renner goes into the Matrix when he's playing tag.
Yeah,
Funny bit.
You know what I do? You know what I do love though? If you're gonna hire Jeremy Renner, for sure, only let him say "Hello, boys."
Hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Give me that throat, boy.
God, he said it like 8 times. Hello, boys.
Give me that throat, boy.
Stop saying hello, boys.
Yeah.
So then this movie sort of dives into like this really weird tone, like near the end of the movie. Oh, excuse me. Where like Jeremy Renner and his wife fake a miscarriage so that he wouldn't get tagged.
That's fucking wild.
Dude, it is super crazy.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's some shit I might pull, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they fake a miscarriage to ensure that Jeremy Renner doesn't get tagged.
Yeah.
And then fucking Ed Helms goes through like this emotional journey, and you get to just watch it. You get to. And it's not interesting or informative or even indicative of his character at all.
Yeah.
Like his character is just suddenly like, yeah, that's it. We'll grow up, guys. And it's like, what the fuck is this movie about? But then even worse, it goes into like this really strange territory. Like after that, where they're like, Ed Helms has cancer. And it's like, what?
Yeah, he's riddled with cancer.
And like a part of me is like, oh God, I can't wait for the reveal that this is a bit.
Yeah, do the reveal.
Do the reveal.
No.
And guess what? I looked it up. That dude didn't actually die from cancer, like the character that's based on. So why put it in there? Or why not at least say that he didn't die? Like, fuck.
Or fucking have the doctor pull off his mask and it's Jake Johnson. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Perfect.
And the walls fall down like in Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
Blitzer's there.
Yeah. Because like as soon as he tagged Jeremy Renner, I'm like, this dude's going to get out of the hospital bed and they're all going to fucking high five and be like, we fucking did it.
Fucking gotcha.
But
see, this isn't a satisfying ending.
Yeah, because it ends with like them being like, yeah, I'm going to die this year. Like I am going to die this year. And they're like, well, that's too bad. The end.
Goodbye.
And he didn't die. He didn't die.
Huh. That's very,
Fuck.
I didn't know that. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's disrespectful to the
Super
audience.
Disrespectful. Dude.
Yeah, really, really fucking unnecessary. What else we got on fucking my notes here? This is actually a good point. I wrote this down.
I doubt it.
I think this movie should have been a mock, dude. Like, I think this movie would have worked way better as a mock rather than.
Yeah, maybe. You haven't seen American Animals yet, have you?
Yeah, no, but who does that? It's somebody good.
No, it's just like this movie that's like half a doc and half a recreation.
Yeah, because it's about the killers and they have like the actual murderers, right?
No, it's just about these kids robbing a museum.
Oh, okay.
I saw it at festival,
but it does have like actors playing the young versions and then like the actual robbers, right?
guys.
Okay, so I am thinking of the right movie.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you just didn't know what it was about.
I did not know what it was about. I've heard Jeff Snyder talk about it a lot.
It's good. Yeah,
Jeff Snyder can't shut the fuck up about it.
We might have to switch out God's Not Dead for that.
No, because we're watching God's Not Dead. That is that's non-negotiable. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry, but that is non-negotiable.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I just think that this movie, like, if it was presented, because we have that Wall Street journalist with them who's writing the article, and it's, hey, go read that article. It's kind of interesting. Go read it. It's kind of interesting.
I don't know about reading. I don't know about all this reading. It's
certainly more interesting than the movie because it takes 8 minutes to read.
Well, that's like when Bert Kreischer, the America's number one party guy, got that article in like New York Times or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they made Van Wilder.
Yeah.
And it's literally nothing like his life at all. And then they cast Ryan Reynolds. He's a big fat guy.
Yeah.
And you're gonna cast Ryan Reynolds. Bert Kreischer's like, I've never seen that movie.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. But like, I just, like, honestly, like, they have that person with them who's there the entire movie, and it's like, have her do something, and she could do something if they did this movie in a mockumentary style.
Yeah, like that. I thought it was like another character that was just there. The reporter,
yeah.
Like she was just there.
She was just there. She only contributed the one time. Oh, there's one character I like in this movie, Lou the bartender. Kind of liked him. Kind of like that.
Yeah, he was good.
The guy who desperately wanted to be involved in the game and nobody was interested in letting him play.
I think there's some good ideas, like the amendments are funny.
Yeah,
the whole idea of the game is funny.
But the problem with the amendments is that as soon as they meet up with Jeremy Renner again, they're like, oh, okay, we'll make an amendment that we won't tag you during your wedding. And it's like, okay, well then I don't care anymore, because that was the big set piece. That was going to be the fun bit. And now I don't care. I don't care anymore. I really wanted them to tag him while he was kissing his bride, and that would have been a lot of fun. And it's not the route they take.
He still does try, though.
Yeah, he still does try, but then immediately, and you're like, man, that's wacky. And immediately they're like, call an ambulance, and you're like, what's the tone now?
What is this film?
Yeah, because he was fucking running down the aisle with this giant fucking grin on his face, and he leapt into a fucking priest, and like, that's in the trailer as like a slapstick bit, and then
literally the climax of the movie
sucks
in the trailer.
Yeah, and then he's like fucking just like almost dead, and they take him to the hospital.
Oh, sorry, you dead?
Yeah, you fucking dead. I hope. God, I hope. But there was every part of this movie made me uncomfortable because of Jake Johnson's character, and the reason for that is that Jake Johnson would keep saying things like, oh, this is a setup. These are all paid actors. And a part of me wanted that. Like, I wanted that to be the reveal, that he wasn't actually getting married. The reveal was his wife actually wasn't pregnant. And guess what? It's not really that interesting.
Yeah. It's as uncomfortable as it sounds. Though,
yes, it's super uncomfortable. And you know what? Disrespectful.
Really disrespectful.
Super
disrespectful.
Yeah. I don't know. And then, like, oh man, there's like this weird part in the middle that it just has nothing to, where they like waterboard Thomas Middleditch.
Oh
like,
yeah, I completely forgot about
what
that.
Happened?
Yeah, I know this place that they chase you around, and if they catch you, they waterboard you.
And go, yeah.
It's downtown. It's in a warehouse, pitch black. They beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
And they,
is it an old Chinese man?
No, they're just not. They're not Chinese, dude.
Are they big? Are they big fucking meatheads?
I don't know. They wear masks, dude.
Oh,
you go in there, you pay $50, you run around in this warehouse. It's they beat the shit out of you, and then if they catch you, they waterboard the fuck out of you. It's a great time.
I gotta be honest. I don't know if it's worth the price tag.
See, people talk about oh man, I love Halloween. I love spooky shit. Come with me in July, and we'll go down to this warehouse where they beat the fuck out of you, and you'll experience true terror.
Oh my god. Fuck. This movie Deathstalker has so much nudity. There's just never not a naked person on screen.
Constantly fucking. He's eating this girl's ass right now.
Porn?
It's soft core, dude.
It might be porn. It's super crazy.
I don't know. It's on Amazon Prime.
1 star. I give 1 star.
Yeah, this movie, filthy, disrespectful, nasty movie.
I just think there was a interesting story here that didn't need to be told in this format.
Oh, what the fuck, dude?
What?
Someone's climbing in through my window right now.
Oh, shit. That dude has the longest legs I've ever...
God, that's a big jaw. That's a giant jaw.
Oh, my
Holy
fucking God. That's a nice haircut at Shitty John Hamm.
Oh, my fucking God.
Well, I think this movie is very important because
whoa. You're just getting right into it, Shitty John Hamm. You climbed through my window, player.
Look, I have a lot of movie contracts to be doing right now, and they're all very important. And I have to get back to my apartment, and I have to get out of this shitty apartment. So I just want to jump right into it. I do not have time to banter.
All right, fair enough, Shitty John Hamm.
So this movie is not as good as Beirut.
Beirut. Yes, we were big fans of Beirut on the pod. Did you listen to that episode?
Of course. I've heard every episode that has movies with me in it. So just the Beirut.
So just the Beirut episode. What about that episode where I talked about $1 Million Arm for 45 minutes?
Nope. But I did watch the Baby Driver one, and I do not like Chadley's impression of me where I was saying, make a decision, baby. I did not like that. I found that disrespectful.
Oh, since you brought that up, what was it like working with Kevin Spacey? Was he raping any boys or what?
Can't legally comment on that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That could be detrimental to my character.
But did you ever go to a Kevin Spacey, Bryan Singer boy party?
I never went to one, but I had.
Did you work
invited. At one? No.
Did you work as like a piece of furniture?
Bullshit. Absolutely not.
Okay.
But I was invited to several of them. That's not my scene.
Yeah, a Roland Emmerich boy party.
Yeah, Roland was going. Yeah, and he was trying to get me in on board, but it wasn't important enough to me. Yeah, but I do think Tag is not as good a movie as Beirut, but Beirut is an easy 7-star.
Oh, it's a 7-star.
It's a 7-star film.
Right. So, what were some of your other 7-star films?
Baby Driver, $1 Million Arm, Madman.
What about that one that Zack Snyder made?
Don't recall.
Sucker Punch is what it's called.
Yeah.
Mio Wachowski.
Yeah, I remember the film, but here's the thing about working with Zack Snyder is he does a lot of salvia and he passes it around. So I can't really talk about that film again legally.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Shitty John Hamm.
Hey, I haven't even given my review of Tag yet.
Yeah, you said 7 stars.
No, I said Beirut was 7 stars. This film is 5. This is a 5-star film. Ed Helms, very funny man. Hannibal Buress, I barely met him. And Jake Johnson, I don't remember anything about him. I thought that was Oscar Isaac, to be honest. I was very confused on the set of this film, but I had a lot of fun. And flicking Jeremy Renner's fake CG arm, a lot of fun.
That does sound like a lot of fun.
If you were on the set of the film, you may have liked it a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with having to work on a film to enjoy it. That seems like
5-star.
Seems counterproductive. All right, Shitty John Hamm, get the fuck out of here.
I have to go back to my apartment.
Oh God, he's snaking through the window. God damn it! What the fuck?
That was really crazy.
Oh shit, Charlie, where'd you go? You went to the bathroom or something?
Yeah, I went and rocked like a super loud piss.
Yeah, that's what that was the entire time.
Yeah, I bet you could hear it. And I'm sad that I missed most of Shitty John Hamm though, because
it's weird. You like immediately.
He seemed like a pretty cool party animal.
Yeah, he had a lot to say. That's for sure.
Because it's very weird. Like if you enter through somebody's window, you're a party animal.
My window's not even that big. I'm really scared that if there is a fire in here, that I will not be able to escape because I'm big and fat.
You know how like sometimes you look at an actor and you're like, well, that guy looks tall, and then you look up his actual height and he's way shorter.
Yeah, like Stallone.
Yeah.
5'6" or something.
Yeah, really, or like Tom Cruise.
Really tiny.
John Hamm, who was just in our apartment, is actually like way taller than you'd expect. And he already
6'7".
Yeah, he was fucking huge, dude. I thought he was gonna beat the shit out of me, as he should have.
He should probably beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, for my incredibly disrespectful review of the film that he was in, the Jeff Tomsic film Tag. Yeah, I'll never watch this movie again, and I think 2 times is too many. Fool. Too many. So what do we want to hit next? We want to hit Jason Reitman.
Yeah, why not?
All right. So Jason Reitman directed a film written by Diablo Cody called Tully.
He does that pretty often.
Yeah, he's done that thrice now.
He makes these movies
and Jason,
very almost exactly the same.
I think Jason Reitman is very hit or miss because
I agree.
Jason
I like
Reitman,
a lot of his movies, and a lot are bad.
Like he has some movies that I love. Like I really love Up in the Air.
Up in the Air is great.
Up in the Air. Thank You for Smoking is amazing.
Is awesome.
Thank You for Smoking is his best movie. You know, I've never seen Young Adult. Or no, I did, but it was a long time ago. I don't remember it.
But those are the three that are very good.
Yeah.
And then you've got Juno, Men, Women, and Children.
Yeah. I don't like Men, Women, and
Labor
Children.
Day, never saw that though.
Men, Women, and Children's like a Malick film. Like it feels Malick-y.
It's really long and it has a lot of Adam Sandler just talking about technology.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so much of him in a room talking.
That's a Chad Colchin thing, isn't it? We could get him on the pod. I know him.
Yeah, we do get him on the pod. Why not? So, yeah, then you had Juno, which I know a lot of people like, but have you gone back? Like, have you gone back? Because I had a brother, or I had a brother. I still have him.
Whoa, dude, rest in peace, Marcus.
No, it's my other brother.
Rest in peace, Krugen.
He was always, I would always say, like, I'm not a big fan of that movie, and he would defend it. But I think it was just this past week, he went back and watched it and was like, you know what? Watching from a 2018 eye, you might be right. I don't think it's very good. Yeah. Because Juno has this really bizarre way of talking that nobody talks like. And for some reason, everyone else in the movie also talks like that. Like, why is Rainn Wilson also Juno in that film? Like, why is
I watched it once, like, in high school, and I've never revisited it. I don't like it. Yeah,
it's not that good of a movie. I do like when Rainn Wilson works, though.
Yeah,
but I don't like when Jason Bateman works. I don't know.
Dude, we hate when Jason Bateman works.
But we also kind of love it because
we love Ozark.
Yeah. Oh, I've never seen it, but my parents have been watching it.
Yeah, it's fucking Breaking Bad, dude. You'd love the fuck out of it.
I might watch the shit out of Ozark.
It took me like 3 times to get through the first episode, but then once you do,
smooth sailing from there.
Fucking good, dude.
God damn it! I've been waiting for somebody to tell me that it's good, and so that I have an excuse to watch it. But now it's another fucking show that I gotta watch. Along with these fucking shit. 4 movies I have to watch a week.
There's so much shit we have to watch all the time.
Fucking damn it!
I barely feel like a person.
Yeah, we're just media sponges, dude. That's all we are.
Pay me so I can quit my job.
Yeah, because I don't have enough time to watch. I have a day job and I don't have enough time to watch these movies, watch these TV shows, play all these video games. Like I got shit to do.
You gotta cut out something.
Yeah, and I'll cut out half the video games and most of the TV, but I shan't.
I've cut out almost all TV.
I might add on to the films, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that's my strategy.
So this
just quit everything that you like except for films.
I have noticed you taking that route recently. So let's talk about Tully. So this movie is pretty good. Good. Yeah, I'm not too mad at this one. I do think it has its strengths and its weaknesses. I don't think it's a very nice movie to look at. And I think a lot of that's intentional because it's supposed to be bland at the beginning when she has the postpartum depression. And then when she gets better later in the film, it's supposed to be a lot brighter. But it's like barely brighter.
Yeah, that's like almost not noticeable other than like the curtains are open a little bit.
Yeah, like it looks like they didn't color correct the whole movie and then they kind of color corrected a scene to be like, look at her singing karaoke, she's having a great time.
Yeah, she's having a fucking blast.
So this movie is basically about postpartum depression. You have this mother whose name is, God, I watched this movie like 12 hours ago, less than 12 hours ago. I do not remember what her name is.
Charlize Theron, dude.
Yeah, okay, so Charlize Theron is the name of the actress.
Marlo.
Marlo, right. So, and her husband, Drew, which I will never forget. Drew. Oh, man. Let's touch about.
Oh, you mean Ron first. Livingston, other Mark Duplass?
Yeah, dude.
I don't hire both of them, motherfucker.
But I love this cast because it's just like generic looking dudes, and I love that. Ron Livingston, like I love when I see him in movies, and I always recognize him.
Well, but I always think he's Mark Duplass.
Yeah, I always got to squint to be like, is that Ron? Is that Ronnie boy? So Ron Livingston, who I love, Mark Duplass, who's great in this movie, and of course Charlize Theron, who could be up for award contention.
She's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, she's
in this movie, but she always fucking is, so it's not confusing at all.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Like this might be one of like this might be like top 10 female performances of the year. This might touch one of the top 3 spots. So Charlize Theron, incredible this movie. She plays this depressed mom who's about to give birth to her third kid, and her second born child is autistic.
Yeah, autism.
And basically her school that she goes to is like wanting them to get AIDS. And there's a lot of jokes about that. So don't worry about that. They're like, no, I'm paying for AIDS. And the principal is having none of it, which I love. Yeah. Principal's like, no, you just need the one aid. And it's like, that's a fucking good joke. You know what I like about this movie is that it feels like Diablo Cody knows how to write dialogue for people now instead of aliens.
It does seem like it's probably the most out of the Diablo Cody scripts that actually feels like
a movie
dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely. But then
because young adult feels like a movie, but it also has weird fucking dialogue in it.
Yeah. And I love the first 30 minutes of this movie. It's where it's all about this depression, and it's very real and very, because this movie is all about mental health and mental unwellness. So she's got the autistic kid, and he's having a hard time. And then she now has this newborn baby. She's given birth to the baby. And that scene is so anticlimactic. And I think that's important. And I think that's a good thing. That the scene where she gives birth, it looks like she doesn't care that she's done it.
Yeah.
Because it really sinks in just how miserable this person is, and how she's really against how common her life is. And Mark Duplass is like, get a night nanny. Get a night nanny. Now, she gets the night nanny, and the night nanny is named Tully, and she rolls up. Now, I don't know about you, but I figured out what the plot twist was 5 seconds into meeting Tully. It's really obvious. Very, very predictable film.
Yeah.
And they definitely try and pull the wool over your eyes a few times, but like I turned, because Buddy Kyle was there. I turned to Buddy Kyle and I'm like, I know the plot twist. And I'm not going to say the plot twist on pod, but don't worry, you learn it 30 minutes into this movie because it's very predictable.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I think a movie like this only works if that drop at the end of the movie has impact. But they even say like so much in the movie. They give you so many blatant hints. Ron Livingston won't shut the fuck up with these hints. You know, he's like a kid who's like, I can't tell you what I got you for your birthday, but you won't be wearing the same shoes tomorrow. And it's like, could you shut the fuck up for a second? Good God. Yeah. And I don't think that's necessarily a problem, but I think they could have gone about the whole situation in a completely different way. I'm intentionally being quite vague about what the plot twist is because I think this is a good movie. I think people should see it.
Yeah.
But see it for Theron. Who's that girl that plays Tully? That's Mackenzie
Davis.
Mackenzie Davis. Yeah, and she was what was it? Izzy Gets a Fuck Across Town.
Oh yeah, that movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah. What else was she in? She was in something else, like she was in something big, but I forget what it was.
Blade Runner play.
Yeah, that's right. She was Marriott in Blade Runner 2049. Really awesome. Fucking she's great in that movie.
Yeah,
and you know what? She's good in this movie. I don't think she's great.
Yeah.
But she's good in this movie. She does a really good job of being like the young, eyes-filled teenager who's there to take care of the baby and to help out Charlize Theron with her housework and yada, yada, yada. And then as soon as that relationship comes up, the rest of the movie, until you get to the plot twist, it's like 40 minutes of just them hanging out. And like,
yeah, there is a lot of just chilling.
Yeah, and like that's great.
Chilling park.
Yeah, and that's great. That really is great, but it doesn't move the plot at all. Like
also, Dr. Runtime, this thing ain't that long.
Yeah, this one is 95 minutes. That's correct. This is a 95-minute, 94 if you want to be. Professor. Yeah, 94 if you want to be exact. So this movie doesn't waste your time too much, but there is like a huge section where it's just them hanging out and just like chatting. And the conversations that they have are important because they do lead you to the parts later in the film. However, I also don't think I much care for the resolution of this film.
Yeah, either. I don't know.
It makes it feel like, cause like the whole point of the movie is that she was, in this really unhealthy mental state.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the movie, she's worse. She's way worse.
a lot worse.
She's a lot worse. So I don't understand why they would just straight end it there.
I guess that's part of it.
It is part of it. And I guess like the idea is that
Ron Livingston's like, you're good now?
Yeah.
You're good?
Ron Livingston's like, so you're dangerously unhealthy, but we're good. And then they're like, and like it ends with this thing where she has all these mental health problems, and Ron Livingston is like, I love you, and she's like, I don't got mental health problems now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wash the dishes together like fucking chutches.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play Call of Duty. I'm gonna go play Fortnite. Ron Livingston plays a lot of Fortnite.
Ron Livingston, if you could stop fucking playing Gears of War for 8 seconds, you piece of shit. But I don't like the way they portray that character, because like every time they come up to the bedroom and he's playing video games, like it is portrayed like, man, what a shitty husband. But I do this to my wife all the time.
Well,
yeah. Well, and I have a dangerously unhealthy relationship, so I guess that makes sense. Actually, no, you know what? Checks out.
Never mind, it's perfect.
Yeah, checks out. It's perfect.
Shit, Reba, you got him.
Yeah. So, and I think this movie's biggest biggest success is the fact that the characters are interesting.
Yeah,
and because the plot isn't that interesting.
I don't think I agree with that. I don't think Jason Reitman is that exciting of a filmmaker.
No, and this was never going to be
because his father made so many classics.
Ivan, the boy.
But like, I like pretty much every plot, like story that he works with. He just doesn't make them that entertaining because they are so mundane.
Yeah, like Up in the Air, I think is probably the biggest success of that sort of structure that he does.
But it feels all very similar. Like all of his movies are just the mundane, quite a lot of dialogue, and mostly nothing happens.
And it's not snappy. It's not Sorkin.
It's not Sorkin.
He
lets it breathe, which I appreciate, because Sorkin's like a little much for me to handle at times.
But even like with Jason Reitman, like none of his movies are ever really that long. But even like a 94-minute movie,
Professor Runtime is out here.
Even like a 94-minute movie for Jason Reitman does feel like a lot longer, just because there's so much empty space, and it's intentional. It's intentional, and I like that it's there, but it does make it drag a little bit because of all that empty space.
Yeah. I like this movie. Okay. I don't think it was. I didn't like. A lot of people are like, this is one of the best movies of the year, and I'm like, all right, let's take a look at this.
It's fine.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I pumped this at a 3-star.
Yeah, I definitely have this at a 3-star. I do like it. I think Charlize Theron is so good.
Charlize Theron's unreal, and you know what? I think Duplass and Livingston are both also
they're good. But dude, that's the thing about Mark Duplass, is he's sneaky good and stuff.
Yeah,
or he's just horrific. Like that's the thing about Duplass.
Yeah, he's either like so good that you don't even realize that it's happening, and then like the movie ends and you're like, what's Mark Duplass good in that movie?
Yeah, like Creep.
That's really. I've never seen Creep. I know there's two of them.
Too.
I know there's two of them.
He is good in those movies.
I have heard that. I have heard he's very good in those movies.
Better than the second. The second one's a better movie. But
excuse me. Ugh. Fucking 9 a.m. pod.
Damn, dude.
Tired as
on
fuck.
My day off. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. I should get fired for this. And
Brian DePalma. Boy, he's a saucy boy.
Oh man, he makes some weird movies, including
fucking wild
Carrie. So Carrie is the first Stephen King movie ever made.
Yeah, and it's like, isn't it one of Brian De Palma's first movies?
Yeah, I think it's like his second or third movie. Like it's very, very low down in his fucking. Hey, Brian De Palma, he's dead, right? Brian De Palma?
Nah, he's still kicking.
He's still kicking.
He still makes good movies, dude.
Make Wyatt Earp too. I don't give a fuck. Just do something crazy. Is he still making stuff? Because I haven't heard a De Palma poll in a very long time.
Let me take a look. Newest first. Yeah, he's still making shit, dude.
He's still working. God damn.
His last movie was in 2012, but he's got Domino for 2018.
Oh, so he is working.
Yeah, there was A24 released a doc about him last year. or the year before.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at this, and Carrie is far from his first movie, dude. He made a lot of films.
Oh yeah, I've seen Phantom of Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen like his big hitters. Like,
I've seen Scarface and Untouchables and
Untouchables.
Mission Impossible.
I've never seen Scarface.
Mission Impossible 1, Snake Eyes with
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Mission to Mars I've seen.
Carlito's Way.
Never seen that. But
was it him who made Wyatt Earp? I thought it was. Did he make Wyatt Earp? I think that was like 94.
So.
No, you don't think so? Oh shit! Who made Wyatt Earp? And why did I get it mistaken as
Dressed to Kill, Body Double, fucking Wise Guys with Danny DeVito and Joe Piscopo.
I've never seen that. I've heard that's awesome though.
Casualties of War with
fucking Kasdan made Wyatt Earp, and that's why I got confused.
We were talking about
I was also doing some research on Kasdan recently.
Good for you. Raising Cain.
Yeah, Larry K.
Anyway, Brian DePalma's fucking awesome because he shoots everything like it's a softcore porn, even though it's not a softcore porn. And I fucking love the hell out of that for some reason.
That is so fucking true,
dude. That first like 10 minutes where she's in like the shower and it's got like that fucking softcore porn, and the softcore porn music is throughout this movie where it's just like that like piano like
and Brian De Palma, you clearly made this when Sissy Spacek had turned 18 the day before.
Yeah.
The day before. You got her fresh, dude. You got Sissy Spacek fresh.
I forgot like how much John Travolta, Gotti City baby, was in this.
Yeah, dude, Gotti City.
Because like
he's in it a lot.
When you look at Sissy Spacek now, she's like 65 as shit, right?
Yeah, she looks 65.
She looks old. John Travolta, still young man. Fat, but still young man.
Is that John Travolta in Deathstalker right there?
No, I don't think it's John Travolta.
Looks like him.
If it was, Gotti City, baby.
Gotti City. Deathstalker is the porniest porno with Gotti City.
This is just straight pornography.
Yeah, it's the porniest porno.
I'm loving it.
I'm glad that Amazon Prime is putting porno on their service now. Perfect. Yeah. So let's talk about Carrie. So this movie is great. This is a really good movie. It is very Stephen, and I feel like we say this every week, but it is the most Stephen King.
Yeah.
I feel like we do say that a lot, but man, this feels so Stephen King. And I understand why this is his first book that sort of skyrocketed to success.
It's a very simple story.
Yeah.
That leads up to a fucking really awesome conclusion. And before we start this, when you boot this bad boy up, United Artists.
Yep.
That bullshit blue with the U
and the A, yeah.
And then Red Bank Films. That's our production companies for this one. Beautiful stuff. I love watching these old movies because you get to see those old production bumpers.
Yeah, every now and again you see fucking Miramax and you're like, oh shit, the boys.
Ooh, Weinstein.
The boy. Fucking making all of Kevin Smith's movies. The boy.
Yeah, that boy. And fucking Tarantino.
Hey, Weinstein was pretty close with fucking Kevin Smith. Do you think Kevin Smith was a boy raper?
I think Kevin Smith went to the boy parties. Yeah, probably.
I think he's been. I think
he's been to a fucking fucking Bryan Singer, Roland Emmerich fucking boy party with Harvey Weinstein.
Shit, yeah, he's certainly been. So this movie's weird because like it almost feels like just like a generic coming of age film.
Yeah,
for some of it.
But I like that they give you the little hints of the psychic power.
Yeah, the psychic powers
for some reason in this movie. Which sure,
they don't explain. Don't worry, they don't explain
it's Stephen King, so he will not explain it.
Don't worry,
he has no intention to ever explain it.
Don't worry, it makes less sense than Dreamcatcher.
Even though all of his movies are connected. And that's just how you're supposed to believe that there's just powers everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just all these books are connected. And you're like, okay, perfect.
So essentially what this movie is about is that Carrie is sort of picked on. She gets her first period in the shower, but her mom is super religious. So she never, which by the way, I love that mom character. It's so sinister and uncomfortable.
She's good, dude.
Yeah.
And you can see these seeds that go into Stephen King's other books like Misery.
Yeah.
And these kind of things, like the kind of obsession. He doesn't really play the religious stuff too much in the future. It was mostly just this one.
And in The Mist with Marcia Gay Harden.
Oh yeah. That's another character that's very similar.
Yeah, that is a very similar character, actually. I agree with that. But yeah, so she gets her first period and she doesn't know what this is, so she thinks she's dying.
Yeah.
And so then
that's a really good scene.
All these girls are throwing tampons at her and being like, plug it up. And so they all get in shit, because it's like that's class A bullying, dude, which apparently you can't just do anymore, which is fucked up.
You can.
Yeah.
You just have to text them and shit.
Yeah. Just send them a fucking MSN messenger, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's really disrespectful. So then what happened?
He just used the force to pick up that fucking sword. That was
wildly.
We have to watch this movie at some point.
Yeah, we'll absolutely be watching Deathstalker. Tune in. Spookytober is all Deathstalker all month.
Yeah.
Is this a series? Is there multiple of these?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5, I think.
Okay, well, I know what our next series is. Hell yeah. What were you saying again? Oh yeah, so then like they all get in shit for bullying, and then the one girl is like a preppy kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Just a fucking saucy bitch, dude.
I hate Carrie White.
Yeah, I hate Carrie White.
This is a very important plot point.
Carrie White, burn in hell. Carrie White, burn in hell. And she's dating John Travolta. This was a really young.
Strapping
I was watching this.
Strapping.
I was watching this with my mom, and my mom saw this movie in theaters when it came out, and we were watching it, and I was like, huh. That guy kind of looks like John Travolta. And my mom's like, what the fuck? That is John Travolta. And man, he just looks fucked up. Like he just looks He's always looked fucked up. Yeah. I thought that was a new thing, but he has always just looked so fucked up.
Yeah, he's fucking got that crazy
He's got that fucking gator face.
Gator. Rest in peace, Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, rest in peace, Burt Reynolds. God, there's so many good Burt Reynolds films we got to talk about, man.
Yeah, it'll be on the Patreon exclusive. We're going to talk about every Burt Reynolds movie. But we're mostly just Deliverance.
Yeah, mostly Deliverance, and then the 2 Cannonball Run films.
Yeah, Gator.
Fucking Gator, yeah.
When he gets on those fan boats, ooh-wee.
Do not ask us to talk about Smokey and the Bandit. We won't. We will not.
Seen it.
It's bad. Wow. So yeah, she's dating John Travolta, and John Travolta, he just looks he looks so fucked up, dude. He does not look good. And so then,
did John Travolta get kicked in the face by a horse as a child?
I think he might have been a horse as a child, to be honest.
Maybe he's like one of those half man, half horse creatures that you'll see in a movie coming up.
Yeah, like that episode of South Park where he gets the fucking surgery to turn him into a dolphin. It was like that, but reverse. He was already a horse, and he's like, "Give me that people surgery. Give me that people surgery, so I can be John Travolta." I'm a horse, and a horse could never play John Gotti.
I'm planting horse seeds.
Yeah,
on this pod.
A horse can never play John Gotti.
Horse movie, you're gonna fucking lose your mind.
Yeah, and then so they sort of put together a plot to embarrass Carrie at the senior prom. And here's something fucked up that my mom told me when we were watching this movie that I didn't know was a thing. But back in the 70s, if you didn't have a date, you didn't get to go to prom.
You weren't allowed to go.
You weren't allowed to go. That's crazy.
Yeah, that should stay because we want to keep nerds out of there.
yeah, true. Because you and I went and we were just fucking around. Yeah, we were just fucking around spiking punches and
fucking shit. Hardner got a tramp stamp of Jesus on his fucking ass cheek.
Yeah, dude, that was a weird night.
Yo, player.
Why would they let us into prom? We didn't even have girlfriends to book.
Yeah, well, fucking nerds.
Yeah, we nerds.
Just out back smoking fucking joints the size of babies' legs.
Yeah, which they almost didn't let us in, but then they did.
But good thing, we're good kids, and we know everybody who's running the motherfucking thing.
Dude, my mom was in there, and I was like, "Mom, you don't gotta search my bag." And she's like, "Word."
Yeah, my fucking parents were doing that shit too. I just walked by. I'm like, Stevie,
yeah, you're like,
what's going on? He's like, you want this beer? Because I'm going to drink a beer. And I'm like, cool.
And Stevie's like, do you got a joint the size of a baby's leg? And you're like, nah.
I certainly do.
But yeah, you couldn't go to prom unless you were invited. So this one girl feels really bad for Carrie. So she has her boyfriend invite Carrie and take her out, which is really weird because like then him and Carrie like make out a whole bunch. And I'm like, I don't know if I was doing it for charity, like, I don't know if I would be cool with my boyfriend going that far, you know?
Yeah, I'd fucking finger blast her probably if I was doing it for charity.
Yeah.
Charity event.
So, Carrie is going to the prom. And this is, everybody knows it. And they're like, they all think it's like a ruse for the guy who invited her, but he's really just trying to be nice. And I feel bad for that guy because he's kind of a dick at the beginning of the movie. But by the end of the movie, he genuinely wants to take Carrie to the prom.
Yeah.
And everyone's giving him shit. And they're like, what is this? Like, what's happening? What's the plan, boy? Yeah. Like, what are we doing? And he's like, nothing. I'm just taking Carrie to the prom. And they're like, yeah, but like, something, right? Yeah. But yeah, in reality, he just wants to take her to the prom. And that scene where they go to prom is the most difficult scene I've ever seen in a movie.
Mind you, this is almost at the end of the movie. But the thing about this movie 90, is it's all, Professor Runtime's giving us the rundown. But the whole, this movie is so simple and that the buildup feels like fairly organic, and it feels like it's happening in like a couple of days.
Yes, and I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is, and there is the internal conflict as well, because there's all the stuff going on at school, which is really interesting. But there's the internal conflict as well, where the mom is like begging her not to go to prom, and then Carrie's using her magic witch powers to like throw her mom back, and is like, I am going to prom. Yeah, which I do. That is the shit I really like about this.
That shit I do like.
I also really like when they put her in the closet of shame when she gets her period. She's like, "How dare you slut!" Puts her in the closet of shame.
I love the prayer closet.
Oh yeah, big fan. And you learn more about Carrie's mother, and you learn more about why she is the way that she is. Like, this movie does honestly provide all the information. You used the word organic in a moment ago, and that is the perfect word to describe every amount of fucking exposition in this film. Like, it feels very, very real, and it feels, aside from the silly witch powers, nifty tricks. Aside from the nifty tricks, it does feel like very, very real.
Well, I think it helps that everybody in this movie is very good. Like,
oh yeah. Sissy Spacek, like, fuck, she's
amazing,
unreal.
I like the teacher too. She's really good. Yeah, the mom's incredible.
Even Johnny T, dude.
Johnny Travolta's good as fuck.
He's good. It's weird that he gets worse though as time goes by.
A lot worse. Gotti City, baby.
Gotti City. But then, they get to the prom, and this is the hardest scene in the movie to watch because it's quite long, this scene.
Yeah.
And essentially,
how long is it, Dr.
It's like 25 minutes. But like, it's her at the prom, and you're just witnessing a regular person at the prom, and it's actually amazing.
Yeah, and they're like, "Wow, that's a nice dress. Where'd you get it?" She's like, "I made
got the nice dress. She looks really nice. She's looking hot as shit, which she never does in the entire movie." Deathstalker is done. It's done. So now we can actually just talk about the films on deck. And she's like, they're dancing and they're having punch and they're having fun, and she is glowing. Like, I don't know if it was edited a certain way or if I was just watching it in a certain way, but this character was just radiant with happiness.
Could be either because Brian DePalmas was a wild man, and you don't know what he's doing with that fucking. He's got that Vaseline on the lens, and you're like, "Is this a
it was
pornography
70s,
film?"
Yeah, it was 70s, so something weird was going on. And like, it's very nice to watch and just see like. And then it becomes very difficult to watch because you see John Travolta fucking putting the bucket of pig's blood. Oh, by the way, there's a scene where John Travolta fucking drains a pig.
Yeah, he kills a pig. Yeah, he's really interested in killing the pig.
Yeah, he's hooting and hollering. He's having a good time.
He's like, squeal, like it's Deliverance.
Yeah,
he's like, squeal.
Yeah. Really, so he drains all of the pig's blood into a bucket.
So if this movie's over, that means we're like an hour into this pod.
Yeah, we better hurry this fuck up. We still got 2 films to talk about.
No, we have one.
But anyway, so he's stringing up the pig's blood, and you know what's gonna happen, and like your heart is already broken.
Yeah.
Like because like they get voted prom king and queen.
Yeah, that's a good scene too. When
she's walking up slow motion.
Yeah,
and
that's
silent.
really good.
Yeah.
And then there's also that scene like before they get to prom, and the one guy's like, "Hey man, I wanna help out with the prom. I want to count the votes." And the guy's like, "Oh, okay. Can you show up by 6:30?" He's like, "No, that's not gonna work.
I'll be there at 8.
I'll be there at 8." And he's like, all right, okay."
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Fucking amazing scene.
But there's like, and then there's the scene where it's announced that they are prom king and queen, and they start walking up, and it's slow motion, and it's almost silent.
That's like Deathstalker 2.
Yeah, that does look like Deathstalker too. And it's silent, and they're walking up, and like the only thing you can hear is like the clapping and the cheering for these two. And Carrie is so unbelievably happy.
Yeah, she's so happy.
She's so unbelievably
in this
happy.
moment that cannot go any further, really.
Yeah, like it's at a point where it's like this is the peak of the movie, and something's gonna happen now where it's gonna ruin everything. And then the craziest 20 minutes in film history occurs. They dump the pig's blood on her, and they all start laughing. And then she starts thinking, because like there's the scene where her mom is like, "They're all gonna laugh at you," and she thinks about that over and over again. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. And it's her. Everybody's laughing at her. She's crying. Her dress is covered in blood. She's covered in blood.
Yeah.
And like it's just really, really crazy. But dude, you put on Deathstalker 2, you son of a bitch. We're trying to party here.
Dude, this is gonna be a 3-hour podcast. Don't worry.
God damn it, dude. And she's soaking in blood, and everyone's laughing at her. And then she uses, look, there were people in this room on her side.
Yeah.
People who were desperately trying to stop this from happening, except for the one girl who was like, whose boyfriend it was that took Carrie, but she got kicked out of prom because guess what? Didn't have no dick. Didn't have dick.
Oh, no dick?
No, yeah.
Whoa! This ain't the same guy.
It's a completely different dude, which is great. It's like fucking.
It is starting like 5 seconds after the last one ended, but with a different guy. That's fucking awesome.
It's like the beginning of Indiana Jones 3, where it's like, oh, why is this a River Phoenix now? And then you're like, don't worry, it is Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And so then they're all laughing at her, and the one girl gets kicked out of prom. She's the only person not in the room.
Yeah.
Carrie uses her witch powers to lock all the fucking
Everybody
doors.
gets locked in.
Everybody gets locked in. They're all screaming. She uses her witch powers, which still, I don't know what they are.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. That's not important.
Don't worry about it.
To get this, murder everyone.
So hardcore, dude.
Fucking
metal as fuck.
Really, really crazy. And then she goes home, and her mom is like, "Oh, this girl's a witch. Like, I gotta kill her." So her mom stabs her.
Oh, so good, dude.
Fucking, it's such a crazy scene. It's such a crazy scene of betrayal, because like Carrie is trying to find comfort and solace in the only person she knows she can go to, and she's betrayed and literally stabbed in the back. Literally stabbed.
Hardcore,
and then Carrie is like, "Oh, I'm having none of this,"
and just uses her mind powers to start sending knives at her.
Knives, and then fucking the house just like fucking crumbles apart. And then there's that final
house just
scene.
Topples on itself. This is like some of the best shit. This movie was made for like $1 million. The fuck did they do after this shit?
Yeah, and like it looks amazing. Yeah. Like the scene where the house topples is like one of my favorite looking scenes, maybe in film ever.
Yeah.
Like it's a really, really cool. And then there's that last scene where they go to the grave, and it's like Carrie White burns in hell, burn in hell. And then she wakes up from the nightmare fucking screaming.
No, like the hand rips.
Oh yeah, the hand comes from under the grave and grabs her, and she's like, screaming her head off. And then the movie's just like Stephen King.
Yeah, and you're like,
Brian DePalma.
Oh, that's very Stephen King. It's very De Palma.
Yeah, it's the most De Palma King ass shit I've ever seen.
That's what I like about these Stephen King adaptions, because they're all very Stephen King, but they're also all very whoever directed.
Yes, it's very indicative of the director. I do agree. So like when you hear a new director do we know who's taking on Dr. Sleep? Because I'm very interested.
Yeah, Mark Flanagan.
Oh, is it Mark Flanagan?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm very excited to see how we have a movie that's simultaneously very Stephen King.
It's going to be good as fuck.
Very Mark Flanagan. I'm in. But yeah, and it's this movie just it brings back a lot of nostalgia for me.
Yeah,
you know, like for high school and things like that. You know, because I wasn't the coolest kid in high school, and neither was Carrie White. And you know, I mean, I was cooler than her. Like she was a loser.
Yeah, and nasty potato sack loser.
Yeah,
that's gnarly.
Yeah, and it's just very interesting to see how Stephen King has evolved from his very first movie, 1974, 1976, something like, no, I think it's 76, 1976 to something like now, where you see something, what's his most recent? I guess It would be one of his more recent ones. I guess Dark Tower is a little bit more recent, but I don't want to talk about that.
It's fucking really bad.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it because I haven't yet to seen it, but we will watch it during Spookytober, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll check it out because I've never seen it, and we somehow didn't review it on pod. Yeah, which is weird. Why didn't we review it on pod?
Because you didn't want to watch it.
Did I refuse to see films?
You didn't refuse it. But
you know what's crazy is that I used to refuse to see films, but now I like just straight up will just go without telling you sometimes.
Just not watching them?
No, I'll go to the theater and not even tell. I went and saw fucking that dog movie this week. Didn't even tell you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have went. So.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not that. It's okay.
I'm not watching that movie.
Oh, you'll watch it eventually.
I'm going to a theater to see it though.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. It is a movie about a dog, so.
Oh boy, a little puppo.
A little pup.
If it was a cat, I would go see it because you have to understand. I need to see every cat. There simply cannot be a cat I haven't seen.
But look at like Brian DePalma's Carrie, and look at who was it who directed it? It was like that really Spanish guy who made Mama, the Dirt Mama movie.
Yeah, no, I forget his name, like Andy something or other.
Yeah, I forget what his name
is.
Yeah, that sounds right. It might not be, but you look at those two movies, and there are some really blatant similarities in tone.
Sure,
like they're tonally very similar, which is crazy because there's over 40 years of time between the two films.
But the thing about these legendary filmmakers like a Brian De Palma is their influence stands strong, especially in the Stephen King genre. Like you look at a Kubrick, you look at a Brian De Palma, you look at not a Larry Cast.
Yeah, not a Larry Cast. But you look at it Rob Reiner.
Sure. And you see like the aesthetic, because like aesthetically they're all similar.
Yeah, Stephen King has to have fucking creative input on the cinematography.
But they're also fairly unique, which I just appreciate about watching Stephen King movies.
Absolutely. So I mean, we're already running fucking super long.
Yeah, so this is a classic movie that there's a classic rating. I'm gonna give that one a 5.
A 5. I'm gonna go a little lower. I'm gonna say 4.
No, I think there's literally nothing I would change about it.
Yeah, I really like it. I do think it's a little slow in the middle, and I do think it takes some time to get to the point.
Absolutely not.
But I still think this is a really fucking good movie.
You need that build up for it to matter.
You know what? Fuck it. I haven't actually written my review. I meant. You're right.
Build up for the ending to matter.
You're right. It's a 5. It's a 5. You're right.
It matters. So and when she gets thrown down the stairs and shit.
You've talked. You know what? It took you 8 seconds, but you've talked me off the ledge. This is a 5.
There you go.
I'm very easily influenced. Yeah, Brian De Palma. You just got one fucking bump on Rotten Tomatoes. You silly bitch. For a fucking 45-year-old movie. Yeah, we got one more movie to talk about.
Holy fuck. We're at like an hour and a half. All right.
One more movie to talk about. And this movie is called Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Boy, I think we got a front runner for docs this year.
I think we got a front runner for fucking Best Picture. Like
okay. Yeah.
I don't think, has a doc ever even been nommed? Is it allowed to be nommed?
I think it's allowed. It just doesn't. Yeah, maybe it's not allowed. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there might be like a rule against, but the animated movies can get nominated. So.
Yeah, but they're stories. Like they're.
You sound saying this ain't a story?
No, they're narratives.
I think there's a narrative in here.
It's a documentary.
I guess, yeah. So, Won't You Be My Neighbor? This is a documentary on Fred Rogers.
Yeah. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Now, this movie is clearly fueled by nostalgia. Very clearly. And I think that works in its favor a lot. Dude, there's more tits in Deathstalker 2. There's way more. This is crazy. But this movie, it's directed by Morgan Neville, who's directed I think he directed like some prison documentary that I never watched, but I've heard it's good. Sure. But this movie is incredible. Like, it's very, very good.
Well, it's a celebration of Fred Rogers.
It really is.
A man who should be celebrated.
It's a tribute to a man who truly wanted the best for this world.
Yeah.
And there's nobody pure like that. And there's nobody who was making moves like this guy. Like, there is never going to be another person like this. Look at kids' TV now. Like, just for example, okay? Because Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, it was on when I was growing up and you were growing up. And
it's from like the 50s and 60s. Though.
Yeah, so it's a long-running show that made a lot of very good points.
Yeah.
But now you look at TV now. What do you got? What do you got? Peppa Pig? Dude, that's fucking. I don't
know what that is.
That's barely even comprehensible. How is that like? That's what I hate watching this movie is that kids' TV shows. Because like I go over to my my niece's house every now and again, see what she's watching, and it's always shit that does nothing for her. Like, she likes it, she'll watch it, but it does nothing for her. Well, like, it doesn't.
It was like, so that's the difference between PBS and any other channel.
Yeah,
is that PBS isn't trying to sell commercials.
Yeah, they're not trying to make money. They're genuinely trying to promote a healthy growth in children.
Yeah,
which is great. And the thing is like, I think Fred Rogers might have been some sort of wizard, because he knew in the 60s the liberal world that we would one day live in, and he knew it before the rest of us.
Yeah, he's a conservative and a priest or a pastor. Or whatever.
But he knew he knew the way the world was going to be moving. He knew, more importantly, that like the world needed to progress in a more accepting way.
Yeah.
And there's so much amazing things that he did on his show to teach kids things that they would never really know about. I didn't even
realize like how much he did for like equality and like race relations.
Yeah. Like the episode where he lets the African American police officer swim in his pool
during the AIDS epidemic.
During the AIDS epidemic, when people were throwing soap into their pool to tell black people to get out of their pool because they're spreading AIDS into the water.
Yeah.
That's huge. Like, that is so huge that he would do that on his show, a show for kids. And he would teach kids about things that they wouldn't learn from other kids' shows.
Yeah.
Like, he did a full bit on the JFK assassination. He did an entire episode on the Vietnam War.
So, yeah, he's almost like what Bill Nye was almost before he lost his mind.
Yeah.
Like before he got on Twitter and just lost his mind.
And then he did, what was that? Eye of Nye, which is rambling, by the way.
Bill Nye Saves the World on Netflix, where he's just like, does like 40 minutes talking about gender. And you're like, Bill Nye, you've lost your mind.
It's like,
and he's like trying to be an ally, but he's also like
he's like clearly like scientifically there's two genders, and you're like, you fucking this fucking
like,
cock.
You're like, Bill Nye, I don't think you're an ally, bro. You've lost your mind.
Yeah, you're being very clearly offensive. But yeah, I do agree that like it's what Bill Nye set out to do. But
yeah.
Mr. Rogers, this is a man who.
Look, I've seen this. I watched this show when I was a young child, and
me too.
At no point did I ever like make the connection that he was a religious man. Like, my parents weren't religious. They probably wouldn't have let me watch this if it was about religion,
which it's not.
It's not. It's just about being a person.
Yeah, and I was a big fan of this show as a kid, and I never understood the cultural and like even sociological impact that this man had on several generations. That's what's so crazy. This show ran for 40 years before he eventually retired.
Fucking thousands of episodes. Dude.
Yeah, and he talked about 9/11 on his show.
Yeah.
Like he talked about everything. Like nothing was sacred. He wanted to make sure he talked about gay rights on his show and talked to kids about gay rights and loving everyone equally and being exactly who you are. And I think we were in an era, and we are now in an era where kids need to hear that because they're not hearing it at all the time. And then there is even the bit about like, oh, kids, everybody who watches Mr. Rogers is a special kid, and everyone who takes part in this is a special kid, so they don't have to.
Special kid has a podcast.
Yeah, every fucking special kid has a podcast now, and how like that the generations that were coming from that became more entitled. But I don't think that's what the show is about, and I don't think that's why generations seem more entitled now than they did 50 years ago. Even if that was the case, because I don't think that it is. Mr. Rogers was truly just a person who wanted to make sure that everybody understood what love is and how everybody deserved it.
Yeah. There's that scene where they were talking about what's like the tiger that he plays, like
Daniel,
yeah, that's like him.
Yeah. And it's like all his insecurities.
That part was like so good, dude.
This movie, like every moment of this movie, Professor Runtime, it is 95 minutes.
There you go. Thank you, Professor.
It is 95 minutes. It's very
I heard you
short.
have your tenure here now on the
and every moment of this movie is interesting, and like that doesn't happen with docs very often.
Yeah,
like even like Citizen 4, it was like, man, that's ended up being a good doc, but that first 20
2
minutes,
come on, 2 hours,
get fucking moving. Whereas this movie has a great pace, almost to a point when it started talking about the stuff that he was doing. Dude, there's like the scene where he's like trying to learn how to pop and lock, and I'm fucking laughing so hard at that.
Yeah.
But like as soon as they get to the stuff where he's in the 90s, I got nervous because I'm like, I don't want this to be moving this quickly because I know he died in 2003, and if we're in the 90s, we're almost there, and I don't want the movie to end. It's very powerful. It's very powerful. And you know what? I think even if you didn't watch Mr. Rogers, you would understand the cultural importance of the man by watching this movie.
I think that's probably true.
Here's the thing, is that when I was watching this movie, I was pretty good the whole film.
Yeah, me too.
I was pretty good the whole film. But then there was one part where he said something, and I just, like, it was like from 0 to 100. I broke as a fucking human being. And it was when he was talking to the college graduates, and he said, he looked into the audience and he said, when I tell everybody on my program that you're special, what I mean is that you don't need to do anything spectacular to deserve love. And I fucking broke, dude. I was gone after that for the rest of the fucking movie.
Yeah,
I was crying. Like, I'll be honest, I was bawling my fucking eyes out.
I would. You're a fucking lizard person if you didn't cry during this fucking thing.
Fuck you if you didn't cry watching this movie.
It's intense, dude.
Like, and basically from there, and there's like a really great scene in this movie that I like where Mr. Rogers passed away and they're at his funeral and they go outside and there's all these picketers and they have the God hates fags, and they're like, well, why are you guys here? Like, are you insinuating that Mr. Rogers was gay? And they say, no, but we think he's burning in hell because he tolerated gays. And I think one of the producers said something along the lines of, man, if people come to my funeral and picket my funeral because I was too tolerant, God, that's good. Like, I've lived a good life. If I want the Westboro Baptist Church to show up at my funeral and say, this guy loved gays too much. This guy loved the human race too much. Fuck this asshole. That's what I want. I was talking to someone about this movie and I was sort of explaining this and I was like, yeah, and Westboro Baptist Church was picketing his funeral. And she was like, what is that? And so I had to sit there and explain the Westboro Baptist Church. And man, I fucking hate those people. They are just the scummiest scumbags of the planet. You know, I don't want to get too political on this show, but I'll look right in the camera. Westboro Baptist Church, y'all can go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, fucking picket the pod. We need some more press on this motherfucker.
Yeah, picket the pod. Hey, guys, guess what?
Hey,
Guess
we're
what
trying to get some more press on this motherfucker so we can go to a fucking film festival. Let's let's go. Yeah. Hey, fuck you, Westboro Baptist.
Fuck you, Westboro Baptist Church.
Probably talk about our shit a little bit.
Yeah, fuck you. We'll send this to him. We'll be sending an email to Westboro.
We adore
Baptist
the
Church.
gays.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And it just every moment of this movie is interesting. Like, there's even like some weird stuff that maybe shouldn't have made the final cut of the doc. Like, there's the scene where the one guy is talking about taking pictures of his ass, and I'm like, I love where this is going, but I don't know if it really should have made the final cut.
It's stories about Fred Rogers and how laid back he was.
Yeah, he was just a chill dude, and like there is like. It's actually even emotional just to see the people who knew him talk about him, because he was so beloved.
Yeah, a lot of big heavy hitters in this one too. A lot of famous people. He
was so beloved by everyone that he knew, and even seeing like their reactions to like him passing and all this, like their reactions are so genuine. So like, and they talk about how the media kept trying to villainize him.
Yeah.
And they would try and be like, oh, he's actually, he's actually gay, or like he's actually a drug dealer, yada, yada, yada. They'd make up all these rumors about him because nobody could genuinely fathom that somebody like this would just exist.
Yeah.
Somebody this genuine and this kind would just exist. But he just is that person and always has been, because he himself like suffered from horrific anxiety and terrible depression, and he wanted to make sure that nobody felt that sting. And that's just such an amazing thing, because like I've had depression, and if other people get depression, it's like whatever. Especially people I don't know, like it's like whatever to me. But Mr. Rogers, he cared about every single person. He was Jesus,
essentially.
I think he might have been Jesus.
I really liked when Francis Clemens was talking about him, like, because how he's like the gay guy.
Yeah.
And, like, Fred knew about it and everything. And he's also the black guy on the show. And it's like, I liked when he was talking.
Well, and then Francis Clemens is like, I don't remember what it is that he said to him, but he was Fred Rogers said, you are special for everything you are. And one day Francis Clemens turned to him and he said, are you speaking to me? And he said, I've been saying this to you every day for 2 years. And today you finally heard me. And they break down and they're crying, and like, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Like, it's very powerful. And I feel bad. Like, I feel bad living the life that I did. This movie made me honestly look at the trajectory of society and question if it's correct. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's super crazy, but this movie will do that to you.
Yeah, and then it ends with like that thing where they're like talking and they're like, we'll give you a minute to think about someone in your life or whatever. And then they give them a minute. And like, if you're not crying, then motherfucker.
Yeah, I was fucking.
You're not a person.
I also cried when the spacecraft exploded, but only me because I love science and I love space travel so much.
We love science on the show.
Yeah, we love sci-fi.
We're big genre nuts. We love sci-fi.
Yeah. But basically, the last 15 minutes of this movie was just me fucking blubbering like a baby.
Oh yeah,
which is. Like
I just had to sit there.
I have not.
I had to sit there for 10 minutes as the credits were rolling because I couldn't.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I did. I watched all the credits. I watched every second of the credits, hoping there might be more. This is one of the best movies of the year, bar none.
For sure, it's
bar none one of the best movies of the year, and I'm excited to talk about it again when we do our top 10 of the year. I think I've made it very clear how I feel about this movie. I think this movie is an easy 5.
Yeah, this is a classic movie that deserves a classic rating. That's going to be a 5. A lot of good docs this year, apparently.
Yeah,
this is only the beginning.
Good, good, because it's
actually going to make you watch them this year because we never watched the docs.
Yeah, we never watched docs, and I haven't. I honestly, it's a genre that I'm not understandably, but it's a genre that I never really partaken in very much, other than like Citizen 4 and like the ones that everyone's seen, like Fahrenheit 9/11, Bowling for Columbine, which is I love Bowling for Columbine, by the way.
Michael Moore is good.
Yeah,
I mean he has an agenda, but he's good.
Yeah, the capitalism one I like less.
Yeah,
but only because I'm a capitalist.
His new shit ain't that great. He did that one on Trump. It's like,
did he do one on Trump?
Yeah.
Dude, is Trump in it?
Yeah.
Dude, I might have to see it. Is he credited?
I don't know, but he does try and like go into like Trump Tower. He's like, "Where is Trump?" And they're like, "Mike, we know who you are, Michael Moore. You can't talk to him.
Yeah. You can't come in here."
And he's like, "Let me see the gold."
he's crazy now.
Let me see the gold throne of Donald Trump in Trump Tower. And you're like, Michael Moore.
Are you okay?
You can't get into anywhere.
Michael,
you look like a 60-year-old lady, Michael Moore. We all see you coming.
Michael Moore, do you think you're living in a fantasy novel and you're the hero?
Oh, you think you're Sacha Baron Cohen? Put on a fake chin, player. And then maybe you'll get in.
Oh, Jesus. Shave the beard. Dude, if he shaved the beard, no one would know.
Michael Moore doesn't have a beard.
Doesn't he?
No,
who am I thinking of?
Morgan Spurlock, maybe?
Oh, yeah, that is who I'm thinking of. Also, I've seen all those Morgan Spurlock one as well. And I also, there's one he did that I really liked. The greatest film ever sold.
Yeah, that one's good.
That one's really good. I don't like his other ones. I do not like the Bin Laden one.
Where in the world's Osama Bin Laden?
I do not like the Bin Laden one.
He doesn't find him.
Yeah, of course he doesn't. Because we all know who did find him. It was fucking Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Osama.
Hey, remember when Chris Pratt was in Osama Bin Laden's house being really disrespectful and was like, Osama.
Speaking of disrespectful, what are we watching next week, Chadley?
Next week on the disrespectful scale, we are watching, I already forget what it was. We are watching God's Not Dead. That's the third one.
God's Not Dead 3 for some reason.
Yeah,
We're
what is
also
it?
watching the new Gerard Butler and Ice Cube's son, Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves, baby.
So, I've heard this is basically a shot-for-shot remake of Michael Mann's Heat, and I'm into it.
We are
Michael Mann's Heat. That's a 5-star, baby. Den of Thieves, probably a 1.
We are watching Billionaire Boys Club.
Oh, Spacey, hey?
Yeah, Kevin Spacey.
Damn,
the last film they let him
we're
make.
making a statement on this pod that we're still watching Spacey movies.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have to see it.
Well, so what?
We will condemn him. Like, I want to make that very clear. We will condemn him.
I want to let you guys know we're also watching Woody Allen movies on this pod still.
Yeah, that's true. We will not stop watching Woody Allen movies because he's good at making movies. But like, we will every time we talk about a Woody Allen movie, we'll bring it up.
Yeah, and we'll definitely never stop talking about Bryan Singer and Roland Emmerich's fucking boy parties.
Yeah, absolutely not. They have a really good time. And then our Stephen King movie of the week next week is Children of the Corn.
Hell yeah, very excited.
Very excited to watch Children of the Corn. That's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you tune into that. That's next Sunday. Sunday fun day, baby.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Movie Epidemic. And
yeah, please follow us on those things because apparently you need a ton of social media followers, which we never really worried about.
No, but we're doing good now.
Yeah, we're doing good now. We're gonna start doing that social media stuff.
A lot of content.
And you know what? If you guys want to get at us, like, and send us questions that we can answer on the pod, do it there. Do it on one of those social medias.
On Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah, look, we will answer your questions on the pod if you send.
You can also hit me up on my personal account at Last Cool Dude.
And my personal account at Chadley the Movie.
Follow me on Letterboxd at Last Cool Dude. I changed my username on there. So.
Oh yeah, it's not Willie or GZH Macy anymore.
No, rest in peace. It's Last Cool Dude across the board. If you
rest
find me,
dude. We had three big deaths this week. GZH Macy, Burt Reynolds, Mac Miller. Rest in peace. So thank you for watching the pod. Next week we'll talk about James Bond. Probably. I meant to talk about it this week, but I forgot, and it's too late.